I lost my wife, and no other man ever touched her. That's the part people don't understand when I tell them this story. There were no hotel rooms, no lipstick on collars, no secret weekend trips. Just conversations. And somehow, that hurt even more. 2 years ago, I decided to build our dream home from the ground up. Not buy one, not finance one someone else designed. Build it. I wanted it to mean something. I grew up watching my father struggle to provide. We never had much, but he always said, "One day, I'll give your mother the house she deserves." He never got the chance. So when I married the woman I loved, I made a silent promise. I will give her the house. Every morning before sunrise, I was at the construction site. Weekends became work days. Date nights became budget meetings. Romantic conversations became discussions about tile colors and roofing materials. At first, she was excited. She would visit the site, holding 2 coffees, walking carefully around wooden beams and unfinished walls. We would stand in the empty frame of what would become our bedroom and imagine our future. "I can already see it," she would say. So could I. But somewhere along the way, the dream shifted. I started chasing deadlines instead of moments. If she tried to tell me about her day, I listened halfway, my mind calculating expenses. If she reached for my hand at night, I was too tired. If she sighed quietly beside me in bed, I assumed she was just exhausted. I thought sacrifice was love. I thought providing was love. I thought building something big would make up for being absent in small ways. I was wrong. The night everything changed was painfully ordinary. We were still living in a rental apartment while finishing the house. I had fallen asleep on the couch with blueprints on my chest. Her phone buzzed. I didn't mean to look, but the screen lit up, and I saw the message preview. "I'm really glad you told me how you feel. You deserve to be heard." My stomach dropped. It wasn't flirty. It wasn't sexual. It was intimate. I waited until she came out of the shower. "Who is he?" I asked. She froze, not because she was caught, but because she knew she couldn't lie. "He's just someone from work," she said softly. Just someone. They started talking during lunch breaks. He noticed she seemed quiet. He asked if she was okay. He listened. Listened. That word echoed in my head like a verdict. "I didn't plan for this," she said, tears forming. "It just felt nice to be seen." Seen. Wasn't I building her a house? Wasn't that proof enough? Apparently not. Here's the truth nobody prepares you for. You can be physically faithful and emotionally gone. She hadn't slept with him. She hadn't kissed him. But she had shared her fears with him, her loneliness, her frustration about feeling like she came second to a construction project. And the worst part? She wasn't wrong. When was the last time I asked her how she felt and actually waited for the answer? When was the last time I held her without thinking about invoices? I was building walls for our future and building distance in our present. "I miss you," she whispered that night. "I live with you, but I feel alone." That sentence hurt more than the messages, because deep down, I knew she was telling the truth. I had become a provider, a planner, a project manager, but I had stopped being her partner. We sat there for hours. No yelling, no dramatic accusations. Just 2 people staring at the quiet wreckage of something they never meant to break. "Do you love him?" I asked. "No," she said immediately. "I love you. I just don't feel connected to you anymore. Connection. That was the thing I forgot to build. The next morning, I did something that terrified me. I didn't go to the construction site. For the first time in nearly a year, I turned off my phone. Deadlines slipped, contractors waited, money was lost. But I stayed home, and we talked. Not about the house, about us. She told me how lonely the evenings felt, how she stopped telling me small stories because I seemed distracted, how she began to feel invisible. I told her about the pressure I carried, the fear of failing, the need to prove I could give her everything. We both cried, not because of another man, but because we had slowly drifted without noticing. Rebuilding trust was harder than pouring concrete. It wasn't dramatic, it was daily. We started therapy. We scheduled date nights and treated them as non-negotiable. I learned to put my phone down. She cut off contact with him completely. Progress wasn't linear. Some days were hopeful, some days were heavy with doubt. But we chose each other, repeatedly. The house was finished 6 months later than planned. It cost more than expected, but we moved in together, not as two strangers living under the same roof, but as two people who almost lost everything and decided not to. The kitchen is beautiful. The walls are strong. The floors are flawless. But if you ask me what matters most in that house, it's not the architecture. It's the evenings when we sit at the table, phones away, talking about nothing important. Because I learned something the hard way. Love is not proven by how much you build. It's proven by how present you are. I almost lost my marriage trying to give my wife a dream. What she needed was me awake beside her.